Hey everybody, it's DJ Invasion 21, and what's your cool name? Want me to call you Ramzy? And my waifu Ramzy. I think this will be an interesting aspect to future videos because now I have a waifu for possibly waifu. Anyways, it was her first convention with me in Ohio. She's usually used to Dragon Con because that's where she's from. But Ohayocon was a different experience, especially for me too, because it's take an experience where you go to a convention by yourself and a convention with somebody else. It's different. And have you ever gone to a convention with a significant other before? Yeah, so it's obviously different. This is obviously more of a review video of how I felt about Ohayocon 2018. I think that this is my second? No, third. I can't remember now. It's my second Ohayocon, I think. Or third. I can't remember now. I think it's my second. Definitely second. Second Ohayocon, the Columbus Convention Center finished building more stuff because over the past couple of years, the reason why I get confused is I've gone to MatsuriCon, so I'm not confused. But with that in mind, I'm sitting here watching the battery slowly die on this fucking camera. Anyways, we'll be talking about a couple topics of discussion. Maybe you're watching this that you're a new person to conventions and you wanted to figure out, do I want to go to Ohayocon next year based on this video? Take it with a grain of salt because the way I feel about any review video you ever see on YouTube about a convention just kind of should give you an idea of what conventions are like. I remember I watched tons of videos of Ohayocon, MatsuriCon, different conventions that I wanted to go to, just to understand what it was like because I was super nervous about going. But you can't hate a convention without going. I have always had tons of people tell me Ohayocon sucks, it sucks, it sucks. But I went and I liked it. So everyone is going to have a different opinion, right? So the arrival aspect isn't bad. We live in Cleveland, so from here to Columbus is about 2.5 hours. Definitely not that bad. You want to definitely avoid the peak hours of rush hour, which is usually 12. But even though we had to deal with traffic, there's a part of the highway where everyone in the right lane needs to get in the left lane, and everybody in the left lane needs to get to the right lane. So that's always the worst. Parking isn't bad. There are a couple parking garages across from the Hyatt Regency where that's the main hotel that's connected to the convention center. I usually just valet. If you're staying at the Hyatt Regency, you can valet. I'm sure if there's a valet for the Hilton that's on the other side and over there on High Street. And I think the Drury has its own parking garage attached to it. And there's another hotel over there. I can't remember which. The Red Roof Inn down the ways has its own parking lot. You have to pay for it, unfortunately. So you have different, obviously, options. Definitely look into the different hotels of the different prices. Usually the Hyatt or the Drury, depending on what conventions. I know a Ohayocon usually has room blocks where they're cheaper. But I actually got into a forum argument and watched people argue that, oh, it's probably cheaper if you just use your perks if you're a member of a hotel rather than using the room block thing. To be honest with you, I don't think it really matters. Like, a room a night was like $128 normally, and Ohayocon saved me $10. Like, I guess it matters, but I don't know. Let's see, the check-in wasn't brutal, and the reason why it wasn't brutal was I'm a member of the World of Hyatt, so it's like a hotel membership. Usually they have a free level and like different levels. I'm a second tier up because I have a credit card with them, so that and I pay the yearly fee for that. and it comes with a whole bunch of perks. Obviously, one of the greatest perks is the 2 p.m. checkout, which saves you from the elevator torture. But the cool part of check-in is that there's a VIP line for check-in, which means even though I show up at the time I normally show up, which is usually 2 or 3 on the Friday rather than Thursday, we didn't really wait in line, did we?
No, you walked straight up to the counter.
There was no line, so, but it's kind of cool to have anyways. What else was there? Oh, I was going to speak a little bit about Valet Danger. And I guess it just varies depending on if you have really, like, intricate props that you don't want people touching. Just make sure you watch what the valet helps you with, because they're probably quick to want to help you but not realize that the stuff that they're touching, it probably costs tons of money, spent tons of hours working on it. You just gotta keep an eye out for your own stuff, and just politely tell them you're fine, you don't need help, you know, unless there's like luggage and stuff like that. I'm sure they'll be happy to help. And just don't get into situations where I did, where a valet, one time, not here, at Ohayocon, grabbed my prop and smashed it into my truck, and I wasn't happy about that. But you just gotta just watch your stuff like a hawk, because you never know. So we got there, got checked in. Elevator wait wasn't too bad, which is abnormal. It was super abnormal, because I'm so used to, like, Friday getting there at 3 and waiting forever for an elevator. This time it wasn't bad, it was a little more organized, but it could be possible that the elevators were all functioning this time, because last time I was at Matsuricon, we had 2 working elevators. Therefore, you wait even longer. Speaking of elevators, it's important to understand there's a methodology with elevators. If you're on the 2nd floor and it's going down and you want to go up, you can't press the higher floor button. It doesn't work. It's got to go all the way down first before it can go back up. If you're in a situation with me and Ramzy, we're on the 18th floor, and every elevator is passing you because the elevators are designed to go all the way up first. Say, for example, someone is on the elevator and they hit 19, the elevator is going to go all the way to 19 first before it stops at 18. So, when in doubt, press it out. I don't know. She's like judging me. So, after we did that stuff, we had to really hurry up, because we were there working Ohayocon for DokiDokon, doing the con swap stuff, which scored Melissa a free badge, which is nice because we didn't have to pay $60. 65. We got to save the 65 and use it for something else. Pre-Reg, once again, was horrendous. Every Ohayocon I go to, Pre-Reg is ridiculously horrendous. Matsuricon's a little different because they use a panel room for registration. Big, giant room, organized. There's tape on the ground that show people where to walk and where to stand. It makes sense. Ohayocon, and this is the 2nd year I've been in Ohayocon, now that I remember it, second year at Ohayocon. I don't know why you guys do this. It's super annoying. You have all these cool stanchion things outside the registration room, which I get, it makes sense when it's really busy. You keep everybody organized and stuff. But it doesn't make sense that you make us all go in one damn room and there's no stanchions in there. So everyone's just standing in front of each other, cutting each other. I'm sure there's tons of people that can agree with me that when you're standing in line, people are cutting you all the time because there's no organization in there. And the reason why there's no organization, if I could try to explain it to you, you walk into this room, and this used to be the old autograph room for Matsuricon, and they realized that, oops, that went up. You walk in, you have this lady that stands there and tells you, oh, you're pre-reg, then go, like, they put there's 2 sections, so on the far left is pre-reg, if you pre-regged online, by last name in sections, but to the left, more towards the front of the door, are cash purchase tickets, or badges if you want to call it that. And to the right are these weird situational scenarios where I pre-regged at another convention, or people at pre-reg can't give a badge to somebody because they're a minor and they don't have an ID, so then they need this guy sitting behind a table to say, yeah, it's okay. Why didn't you put Mr. Yeah, it's okay next to that table? So then, because these people had to keep walking back and forth, but they were walking back and forth, and I was getting pissed off because I was patiently standing there, and these parents kept cutting in front of me. And so you got these people going back and forth, and those people that had already got their registration by giving cash can't get through because you got this going on, and it's this really tiny room, and all of this going on. It's really stupid. And the reason why they had the lady standing at the door was to make sure that not too many people went in there. Yeah, right. That is bullshit, because that was not happening. I can tell you that much right now. And that was on Friday, and it was like 4 o'clock when we got our freaking badges. What's interesting too is I'm so used to like Matsuricon, and this is funny. Matsuricon has been going on almost as many years as Ohayocon, maybe a little bit less, 4 or 5 years. They have significantly less people, probably 25,000 people, where Ohiocon's probably hitting 60,000 now. But they usually put everything in a bag or put them on the tables methodically so that you could pick them up. I had to pick up the brochure at an info desk, which was
not really pointed out.
It was not pointed out. It wasn't even nowhere near registration. I had to go find the thing. Then they print out the schedules each day instead of, giving you all of them, which that's fine. Every con does it differently. But to then explain to people that's how it is, or you could use the app. There's a Grenadine app you can download for free on Apple or Android, and you can just use that, which is fine.
It doesn't have a map.
But there's no map.
There's no map.
Like, come on, people.
So you can't find any other rooms.
Anyways, and then they had this thing on one of the tables. I wanted to see what the hell it was, so it was a pre-reg coupon book. But they were just sitting in, like, the little cellophane things and not being given out to people, because all the badge people that were helping people with were trying to put the wristbands on instead of doing other things. So I picked this up, and it's mediocre. It kind of just gives you some ideas of stuff. It gives you coupons to things for you to use in the vendor hall, which, I mean, I really don't care, to be honest with you, but, like, there's little things like, Japanimals. You could get a free Panda Squishy with any $15 plus purchase. So there's obviously some cool stuff in here. And I don't know about you, but if I was a vendor and I was being asked to bring extra merchandise to give away because I put my ad in a book that nobody fucking got, well, what's the point? What's the point of wasting your time with this? So, the booklet here reads like a manga, just like I mentioned last time, and I think Matsuricon does the same thing. It's not in color, but that's fine. Who really cares? But it goes into detail about everything, which is cool, stuff like that. Everything you can find on your app. Not super difficult. Details about their industry speakers. It's not bad. And then on the back it has all the maps for everything, which is pretty cool. And then on the back it just kind of gives you, like, how do we do? Here's the survey stuff, and here's what our next year's theme is already at. So that's kind of cool that they've already come up with a theme for next year, and it almost looks like a book that you could, like, buy with a fake little barcode. The pros and cons that I've covered with Pre-Reg, got any? I mean, here's the thing: is I can sit here and complain as much as I want about Ohayocon, but this is me just giving you my feedback and my review. I'll take Ohiocon's standing in line for almost like 30 minutes with a grain of salt, because I've gone to cons like Anime Midwest and Anime Central where the line for Pre-Reg. Luckily, because I work for a con, I don't have to stand in those lines because we can pick up our badges a day before everyone gets there. But you're playing the line game. You're in line for hours. Or even longer than that. So I will take this with a grain of salt. But for those who are just coming to these cons, this is going to annoy you. And it's just some simple organization. Simple organization. Not very difficult. Just a little bit of organization, or use a different room. Easy, done. Use a different room for something like that. We went over the program booklet. It's pretty cool. I like having something like this. The layout of the convention has changed this year as opposed to last year. The video game room was more spread out. They separated the rhythm games from Tokyo Attack and Snow Phoenix. I think they had Snow Phoenix rather than Tokyo Attack. Matsuricon usually has Tokyo Attack. They were supposed to have the biggest gaming floor, I guess, of what they wanted to call it that. So they had the rhythm games. They had tabletop across from it, which where rhythm games is and tabletop are normally panel rooms that like Matsuricon has. And then across from that, they had an indie showcase. So they had game developers that did indie games that were pretty much promoting their game. You may win something, things like that. They had a LARPing area, which I'm pretty sure, I doubt you're going to be able to LARP in the size of a panel room. Maybe it was just kind of like a cosplay foam fighting type thing. And then next to that, I'm not sure what it was.
Well, there's the dancing stations that were outside of it, and then there was the PC gaming.
Oh, PC gaming. Yeah, the PC gaming.
Console gaming.
And console gaming, which it wasn't bad. There were a lot of people in there all the time, and the PC gaming was pretty much your typical League of Legends, Hero Storm, those types of games. Once again, I can't imagine going to an anime convention and playing those things, but that's what people like. It's no different than esports, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good way to meet people.
Yeah.
Talk, make friends. Especially for people who are anxious.
Anxious people.
Anxious.
Oh, they had tournaments and a shadow run room, whatever that's for. And I guess tournaments, they usually do card tournaments too, which is pretty cool. Let's see. So, food selection. So you're going to Ohayocon for the first time. What kind of food is there? There is a food court. So the Hyatt Regency has a food court in the middle of itself, which is kind of cool. And there's also a comic book shop there, and a bunch of other typical shops that are part of this convention center. There's a Euro place, a Subway. The Subway is usually open 24/7 for things like for conventions, obviously, for the most part. There's an ice cream place with Velvet ice cream, which is typical for that southern area of Ohio. That's their ice cream of choice. It's a local place. Donato's Pizza. Siam Kitchen, which does sushi and noodle bowls, and it also does, like, you know, your typical Thai kitchen type stuff, sakyo stuff. A local coffee shop.
What's a chicken place?
What
was it? Chicken?
Oh,
The chicken and waffle place?
chicken and eggs.
Chicken and eggs.
Breakfast 24/7,
Chicken and
and chicken tender baskets, pretty cool. Oh, Charlie's is there, but they're open at weird ass times. I've never gone. We've seen them open like one time at weird ass hours. Then there's a Indian American Thai cuisine thingamabobber over there next to the Euro place that looked like the same menu as the menu for the Euro place. I don't know. That's pretty much it. Then, if it's not the winter time, or if you want to trek out, there's a North Market, which is kind of like a Cleveland West Side Market. I mean, it's just a market. They got a Thai and a sushi place in there, but the bar is so small, it's really meant for, you know, localers.
The macaroons, though.
There's a bakery place in there that has some really awesome macaroons.
French macaroons.
Yeah, so if you watch the original highlight video, you'll see part of the vlog. I have covered some of the macaroon stuff at this pastry place. but what's nice about it is the convention center is right next to North High Street. So either you go up North High Street or down the other way. You'll have Melt, which is a big chain here in Ohio, where it's just big giant gourmet cheese grilled cheese sandwiches. Lots of bars. We went to a brewery, restaurant type place. Really good food. Super expensive. Super meaning like the bill with beer could have easily been $60. I've been there before. They got a arcade above it too, which is kind of cool. But down the way is tons of different places, and if you're into vintage toys, if you go down like 3 or 4 blocks, there's a old school vintage toy shop. I mean, you definitely, if you're out of state and you want to check out the place, it's really cool. I figure out what the name of it is. I'll put it in the video. So there's a lot of cool things. It's in a good spot, and it's right near the Nationwide Arena, which is nice. You'll see that if you're staying at the Hyatt, you can see the nice view. Cosplaying, that's what we're talking about. This is why you're coming to a convention, to cosplay, show off your costume, your craftsmanship, your workmanship. Whether it's you're cosplaying or you're in a fursuit, this is the experience that you've come here to talk about, see, and listen. This was my first time doing a fursuiting experience with my full fursuit. I've been to the Hyatt Regency and I've been to this convention with, actually Ohayocon I've never been with a partial. I get them mixed up because Matsuri-con and Ohayocon are so close to each other. They're at the same venue, they almost feel the same, with an exception of one's smaller and one's massively bigger. So my first experience, full fursuiting, was overwhelming because I wasn't used to not having my water pack with me, so I could drink water. That was probably should have had that with me, because I was too busy thinking about what it looked like rather than doing anything with it. I had a handler with me, which was super important because there was no way I was going to put any of that stuff on by myself. What did you think about your experience being my handler for the first time at a convention center you weren't familiar with?
I guess overall the layout was easier to navigate except for the bar area. The bar area was super congested, hard to walk around in, especially when you're in a giant thing. You're trying to keep people from walking into walls or other people.
Yeah.
Because of the close and quarters of certain things, I think the heat was a little overwhelming for you too. Because the air conditioner broke at some point and they fixed it, but I think the heat was pretty much your biggest hurdle.
Yeah, you'd be surprised for a convention that's in the wintertime. It would be cold, but this weekend was different because it was typical Ohio. It was nice outside, but super hot, and I think it felt like that for a lot of the other fellow furries. It was like that. But it was nice to see so many different furries, and you'll see a lot more furries that come to Ohayocon than Matsuri-con, which is interesting because it's at the same venue. You'd think it would be the same.
It's probably because it's smaller, like the actual convention itself.
Yeah, but it's not. Trying to think, what else? How did you like the cosplay experience? Like, now mind you, this is the first time I know you guys have seen, you like my Facebook page and you've seen my videos and stuff like that. I usually do a Team Rocket James, where I'm well known for my Victory Bell backpack because I'm the only one in this Midwest area that has something of that nature. But this time I got to go with my waifu, who dressed up like Jessie from Team Rocket. So there were obviously a lot of photos. I was excited about that. And she had our Meowth that we made from Build-A-Bear, so just kind of like brought it all together. It was pretty cool. We obviously, we decided not to do Team Rocket in the morning because my first fursuit shoot was at the same time, that and the fact that we had con swap stuff to do, so it was too much. So we picked that over this. Maybe next year, next convention, we'll do it longer. Probably end up in more photos. Who knows? But it ends up being more of the package kind of deal. But how'd you feel like being able to cosplay with somebody that enjoys conventions as much as you do, but then to have the feeling of, oh, look, we're a couple, but it's, you know, interesting for the first time?
I think it's definitely a lot more fun to do like a joint cosplays with other people. Obviously, I went to a lot of cosplay or like events and conventions and stuff in Atlanta, and we would all dress up, but like nobody kind of coordinated, and we were all just
Whatever you wanted to be.
Girlfriends just hanging out, guy friends just hanging out, doing their things. So it was definitely a lot of fun to actually get to do a theme with another individual. That was fun.
It makes for
a better experience,
yeah.
I think, because it's like, oh, it's a pairing.
And it's nice to be able to like something or a fandom or anything or like the same things, because it could be possible that you could be, I've met couples that one just does not like anime, and so they're not into the whole thing, but then another couple will be both into the same thing. So the other experience, I know we talked about our Team Rocket, Jesse and James cosplay. What did you think about walking around? You walked around as your Lolita dress, right, with my Raiden?
Yeah, it was a lolly.
Okay. I'm hoping it'd actually be cooler that. What did you want to do for Mortal Kombat?
I want to do Kitana.
So, lately, I mean, obviously after the first convention, like, I just kept thinking, like, what other freaking, couple cosplays can we do? So, that's been obviously on my mind of other couple cosplays we can do. So that's fine and dandy. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about the vendor hall. You must be wondering what this cute little foxy is here. We got this fox from the vendor hall. I actually got him while I was still in fursuit as
I got him.
Okay, she got him.
I had to do the purchasing.
She did the purchasing while I couldn't
and
see
the
anything.
speaking, and the looking, and the talking, and the flipping.
But we saw it originally the first time when we walked around, right?
Yeah.
While I was in my full fursuit.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, the first time we went to the vendor hall, after the.
That's when we bought him. You were in full fursuit. Because we bought him the first time. And then we went back, and we walked around. I went back later by myself, and I bought other things, but...
Oh, okay. I can remember. Anyways, so this cute little guy, here's the card, which is pretty cool. It comes from a guy... Oh, that's not cool. That is really not cool. I'm gonna have to burn the shit out of this card. So I'm actually, this is totally off topic. So as I'm looking at this business card was my wallet and smashed down my wallet. So now the credit card that it was touching is now imprinted on this card, like in actual detail. If I look at the stage lighting.
I mean, we keep it anyway. It's super cute. You could frame it.
I know.
You could just do like a giant collage of cute business cards.
That's a good idea. But it's Clover Puff. You can go to cloverpuff.com. It'll take you to his Etsy page. He has a whole bunch of cute artwork. Cute tail. You'll see a picture somewhere around here. I'll show you a picture of my Fursona Krystl nomming on his tail. Nom nom. Do you want to talk about some of your stuff you got?
Well, I got it for you.
Yeah, I know. You want to talk about it?
I mean, just talk about it.
Okay. So,
Let's talk about
are there other things in here?
That's my prints. My 2 prints.
Oh, do you want to talk about those?
Did we sell the business card? I can't remember. I have to look for it.
Anyways, we could just talk about it. We'll add that. We'll add the business card to the video at the bottom. But this is another one of his art. It's super cute. Very kawaii, of course. Fox.
It's by the same guy.
Same guy. Cloverpuff. Cloverpuff had a lot of awesome artwork.
He did have a lot of super cute. And scarves and
keychains and these little like
lanyards.
These cute little like they were like called capples. They were like kitty apples. They're little figurines.
Little sculptures. This is often the same lady. I'm gonna have to look for her thing.
Okay. Oop. So.
Oh no, it's. I don't have the business card, but her information's down there.
So. She got me this cool pin. So my messenger bag has a bunch of pins on it. This was from Iron Yokai. We'll put their information in the bottom. It's actually really cool. Kitsune. Other Kitsune Fox keychain, obviously, that's really cute. And then these two artwork pieces here that she got. Definitely has some interesting, symbolism to it. So, that's really cool. We didn't. Okay, now normally I buy tons and tons of stuff, but I'm on a budget for 2018, so I didn't buy too much stuff like I normally do.
I didn't need to either.
We're doing con swap stuff for DokiDokon, the convention I work for in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I used to be marketing head for DokiDokon, but I still do marketing on the side for the convention. I usually talk to a lot of the convention people that are smaller cons, not none of the big cons like Anime Central or Matsuri Con that was there. I've already talked to them, I don't need to anymore. Talk to a lot of other conventions that are smaller, bigger, like, for example, this convention is in Ashland, Ohio. You know Ashland because Ashland University, it's small, towny type college. But Gojotekicon, here's their paper. I won't be able to see it too well because it's very thin. But Gojotekicon is in Ashland, Ohio from the 4th to the 6th of May at the Holiday Inn Express. The pre-reg isn't bad, $30. This is their second year convention, which is why they seem to be in good ties with us because this is also our second year convention. A lot of live performances, interactive activities. Enchanted Maid Cafe, Cosplay Photo Trail, which is kind of cool because they're really close to a local park and they point out like different photo places that you could take really good photos. Lots of guests, workshops, gaming, you name it, it happens. They also have like an AR gaming type thing too, which is pretty cool. That's the new thing is AR. But that's a 3-day con for their second year. Let's see what this other con that I talked to. They're from Athens, Ohio, which is where Ohio University is. They've been going on for 6 or 7 years now, but they're a 1-day con. They said they tried doing 3 and it wasn't their cup of tea. It looks like it says Rathacon. Their 1-day convention on May 12th. Special guest Jake Kearney. I guess he appears on The Walking Dead. And the illustrator for Magic the Gathering. They're more like a science fiction type convention. Small 1-day convention from 10 a.m. to 7. Never been to a 1-day convention before. ZipCon's another 1-day convention coming up here soon. And at Akron University. It's always been on my list, but things always conflicted with such things. Here's another smaller convention that was actually next to Gojotekicon, and this one made me feel questionable whether or not it was real or fake. Granted, obviously someone was standing at the table, but this is called Put and Play Con. Fantasy Island awaits. It's June 8th to the 10th in Put and Bay. It says cosplay, anime, gaming, parties, and more.
It's like spring break advertisement.
Yeah, cosplay is 2 words apparently, and
it literally looks like a spring break advertisement. Look at all those people in the pool.
Yeah, it's It's at the Islander Inn at Put-in Bay. And what's funny about it is this convention's not less than 4 months away. Well, not even. I went to their website. Their website advertised on here doesn't even work. It takes you to the email box for the website. When you go to the website for the hotel, I think they don't even know that this thing is taking place at their hotel because it says limited discount con attendees hotel space. Is that supposed to be a run-on sentence or whatever? And not to mention, if you look at the pictures and stuff, it's like a horror convention more than a anime convention. But like, the pictures on here don't make sense because
she looked.
Yeah, it says the photo credits. Here, let me look at my laptop real quick because it's funny. I wanted to look it up, but I want to do it at work. This is what the photo credits came from. Of course, I type in this phrase and it shows up as that. I can't even find what the hell this thing is. Anyways, there's pictures of alt models on here, and it says photo credits go to gorgeous girls. But, oh, it's spelled that way. That's why I can't. Stupid. Gore. God. I also can't read, apparently. Did you see the paragraph to that? Hold on, let me go back. This has nothing to do with this video. This paragraph to the website says, our models are available to do shoots for almost any task or event with enough notice. We do regular conventions, concerts, and shoots in different locations. They must have paid something glorious for them to have pictures on this thing, because I don't know about you, I can't manage to make this any closer. I'm sure it's clearer on the screen, but you see this girl in the top right corner here? This is not for kids, FYI. And
well, I mean, it does say parties, and it looks like everybody's pretty toasted.
It's important to put on flyers if you're going to hand them out, and unless their parents are just stupid, this is an 18 plus or 21 plus type of convention. And I've seen conventions where they're smart enough to put that on their flyers. This is just ludicrous. Because there's like pictures of furries on the back, but there's like horror things in the back, and then there's like cosplay mixed in with it. It doesn't make sense. It kind of reminds me of, there was a convention last year called the Cosplay Campout, and long story short, basically what happened was it was held at a campground. The campground had no clue this was going on. It was just basically a bunch of like crack addicts trying to run a convention. One of our friends was listed as a guest, and they had no clue what was going on. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Anyways. Let that be. That's this. Super awkward, I guess. But that's the same weekend as Oh My God Con, which is in Owensboro, Kentucky, this is a convention that's been going on for a very long time. They're really cool because I talked to them, they've been going on for 8-9 years now, because I asked them at their console table, they had different video games for every year, and the video games are basically parodies of whatever popular video game there was for the previous year. So Overwatch was obviously the popular game, and as you can see, they have really derpy eyeballs. They look really silly. But this is the one that happens in Kentucky every year that I've always wanted to go to. Maybe this year or next year, who knows? But they seem to always have a really cool gaming experience if you're into the gaming arcade stuff. Now it's my time to talk and plug DokiDokon like I do anytime I do cosplay type videos. If you've ever heard of DokiDokon, it's okay, I understand. Last year was our first year, this is our second year. We've gone and moved from the 4 Points to the Radisson Plaza Center downtown for a 3-day anime convention. This is our second year. Last year we had well over 1,000 people for our first year convention, to the point where we had to stop people from coming in because the fire marshal said no more. We're looking forward to what happens this year, being at a bigger convention center. It's taking place in the last week of July, from the 27th to the 29th. Michigan from Cleveland isn't too far, it's about 4 hours. really isn't that bad of a drive. Downtown Kalamazoo is almost like the way Columbus is set up. There's a lot of parks nearby, a lot of bars, a lot of fun things to do, especially we're talking like midsummer. And if anything makes you happy, is that if you live in Ohio and you're watching this, you should definitely go, because when I said, oh, it's going to rain, or oh, it's going to snow, none of that happened, because it's not Ohio. The other plus, too, is that we have 4 awesome voice actors, which for a second-year convention, I almost feel like that's unheard of. We've got Justin Briner. He's mainly known for his Izuku Deko of My Hero Academia. He's in Seraph in the End as Michaela. We have Micah. How do you say that? Salusad. He's Yuichiro in Seraph of the End, and Yuri from Yuri on Ice. I'm sure there's a lot of Yuri on Ice fans out there. You should definitely go to this. Clifford Chapin. He's Katuki Kugo in My Hero Academia. Connie Springer in Attack on Titan. Charles Gray in Black Butler. We also have David Matranga. He's Shoto Todoroki in My Hero Academia. So we got 3 voice actors from My Hero Academia. He's also Bernholt Hoover in Attack on Titan, and Usei Takumi from Maid-sama, which I'm super excited about. That's probably him and Clifford are probably my 2 favorites out of all that, probably because of the animes that I've watched. Our musical guest is the Harp Twins. They're coming back again for a second hurrah. Gonna pack the main events room just like last year. If you haven't heard of them, go check them out. Basically take metal music or regular music and make it metal but on harp. It's pretty awesome. We got cosplay guests, Thousand Face Cosplay, Bodybuilding. They were actually at Ohayocon. We walked past their table. Pretty cool. Papa Bear Cosplay. And 2 things that will probably bring you in to make you love this even more is that we're looking for volunteers, of course, in various departments. Registration, tech, team, gopher, which means go wherever we need you to. Photographer, guest handler, vendor room. That's just some to name. But if you work more than 12 hours, you get a free badge. So how should you go wrong with a free badge at that point? What I can say is, if you're looking forward to it, if you are excited about it, you haven't got your badges yet, or you're thinking about it, I'll put a $5 off discount at the bottom of this video in the description. It's good for all badge levels: basic, Doki Deluxe, VIP badge, and the VIP Ultra badge. It's Pineapple 18, which is the awesome promo code. Remember, that is good up until the month of the convention. Once it hits July, it's going to be a full price at the door. So make sure you get your tickets now. Make sure you like our Facebook page. Check out all the social media. And hit me up. Like this video. Subscribe. Comment what you think about the video. What you think about Ohayocon if you went. I got more videos upcoming. I can see a fox over here somewhere. Boop! And looking for more awesome videos. I appreciate you guys watching very much. Anything to say, Ramzy? Nothing? Okay. Bye!